Second of all, I bet the Cubs, whoever caught Shohei Ohtani's second home run that he hit, because he hit one today, the Cubs probably treated their fans or that fan better than the Dodgers treated theirs.
Yeah. Nothing.
Who caught Shohei's first home run ball.
Okay, so I'm gonna start swinging. Let me start swinging. The girl who caught the ball on Twitter, she says
she has a name.
Well, it's Amber
Roman.
Roman, but that's not what her name is on Twitter, which I don't think I can say it. So I'm just not. She's got a look at that name.
No.
Say my name.
Don't say that, right?
You can't.
Say my name.
You can't say that name.
You can't say that name.
Correct, but her name is Amber Roman. That's I don't
know if it'd be worse if I said it or if Monty said it.
I just don't think I could.
It's just not.
Say my name.
Anyway.
Why is Iowa Sam following her? That's the question.
Am I?
And it's such an inside joke because you don't know what it is. The listener doesn't know what it is.
Search by category?
I'm sure they could find.
I mean, I found her. So
Did you just search Amber Roman?
So, no, because that's not her name. She is at Amber with 2 E's,
by the way,
3 R's, 4 R's, 24. But that's what is her at. You know what I'm saying?
I feel bad for all the other Amber Romans who now are linked to this Twitter handle, but I still feel bad for this Amber Roman because of what she got from the Dodgers.
No, but she literally has a tweet. I didn't want to be that person. All the items are signed. I am happy with what I got in return, plus the memory of it all. So now we're changing our story? That's my problem here. That tweet is still up on her page. So I think what happened is that she didn't know. Maybe she is a casual fan and she didn't know the value of that ball. And so when they offer her all of these signed items, of course you get excited. And I believe that, like she said, I didn't want to be that person because they're talking about like extorting, and she's like, I didn't want to do that. She just didn't know. Unfortunately, she wasn't prepared, and that sucks, but she seems to be happy originally. Now she's found out what she maybe could have gotten.
Yeah, because she didn't know, because the Dodgers wanted to make sure that they got the best end of the deal on this sort of thing.
Right, but I'm saying another fan maybe would have known the value. Like anybody who's a little bit more than a casual fan maybe remembers what happened with Aaron Judge's 60-second home run that broke the record. You remember that story? The guy that caught it, they talked to him. He said, I need to think about it. They let him go. They apparently offered him $3 million that he turned down because he wanted it to go to auction, and it did, and he got half of that. So even when you think you know what you're doing, it may not go the way you think it is. She just didn't know. She just didn't know.
But she didn't know, but that doesn't excuse the Dodgers for the way that they proceeded in this. And she got a signed ball, a signed bat, and a couple of signed hats. Right?
Yay.
That's what she got for catching Shohei Ohtani's first home run as a Dodger. By the way, I would also say this, that while Aaron Judge, we've been on Aaron Judge watch, and Shohei not homering up to that point of the season was a story. The initial thought of this being Shohei's first home run, I don't think is as immediate as opposed to, oh my gosh, I just caught a home run. Oh my gosh, it's Shohei Ohtani's home run. Maybe throughout the whole process, it becomes a little bit more when security and the Dodgers are taking you, and then you realize, oh, okay, well, this is his first home run. This is why this is a big deal. But if the accounts of her being separated from her other parties are correct, that's a bad job by the Dodgers, because when you catch a baseball in the stands and people are coming to you from the Dodgers, I think your initial thought would be they're protecting me from other people trying to get this ball. They're on my side. That's what this is all about. They're trying to make sure that we get out of the stadium, that nobody comes and tries to assault us to get this baseball. They are taking care of me. And that's where I think her first thoughts were. So from that point, whatever went on, I felt that she thought that the people with the Dodgers and security were her allies, when in fact they were anything but that. And just trying to get her to take a deal of a couple of hats and a couple of signed balls. Because you know what we all want in this situation, Monty? We want that viral video. Mm-hmm. We want that viral video of her meeting Shohei or of the Dodgers going above and beyond in doing what they're doing for the fans, and instead you get this crackerjack prize. And that's what is so disappointing about this is this was an opportunity for her and the people that she went with the game with to look great because they didn't ask for anything with this ball. They were willing to give it to Shohei, and the Dodgers are saying because of your generosity, because of you not wanting to hold this ball hostage, we will go above and beyond to shower you with gifts for being such a great fan and handling this situation. She may have been happy with it, but that doesn't mean that because she's happy with it that that's what the Dodgers should have done. And I think now you have buyer's remorse in whatever her Twitter name is that we can't say on the air.
All right. So I will agree with you that if the story is true, that they separated her from her party, that they kind of pressured her maybe to make this decision on the fly, I agree that that is not the way it should have been handled by the Dodgers. I agree with all of that. It's not what you want to hear. But I wonder if this buyer's remorse just came because of people on Twitter telling her, what did you do? Why didn't you get more stuff? And then the story comes out, the negative story comes out after the fact, when I think the initial response is that she's happy, but then things change. And I think it was just like the pressure of social media telling her, like, why didn't you get more out of it?
Jason Stewart wants to chime in on this, but I do want to say that she did say after the fact, and this was not on her, again, X account that we can't say the title to, was that there was a threat that the ball would not be authenticated if she didn't turn it over. That was a claim by her or her husband saying that if she did not agree to a trade, the ball would then lose its value as there'd be no proof that it was actually the ball that Ohtani hit. That is what she is claiming. And again, we can't say her Twitter handle or X handle on the air.
Is that can that be true? Everybody has video of it, of her with the ball, like more than one person. So is that true that somebody could, like the organization could say, we're not going to authenticate it? Are they even involved with that? Isn't it other people and with everybody else there with their cameras and their phones? Wouldn't it be easy to
I
authenticate?
think it's the fact if like you were to take it to an auction house that, I mean, there's got to be a code in the baseball that you would be able to scan to be like, okay, this was the ball. Because that's the way that you would know.
Right.
At least that was, I believe, the case in Aaron Judge's. I don't know if they went to this case with Major League Baseball, but to the fact of if you had 3 different balls that you took to 3 different auction houses and said, and you didn't tell anybody that you were doing it, obviously 2 of those would be fake. So when you have the actual ball there in your hand, I guess that's their threat in saying, and she could pull a fast one in. Try to sell it to 5 different people and have 4 of those be fake baseballs. Jason Stewart.
The first thing you said when you started the segment, whether you were being genuine or whether you were joking, was that the Dodgers are being cheap here. And I think the way you guys just laid it out, it sounds like they are. Nothing about their the new ownership's way of doing business has been cheap since they got there. They cost is not a consideration. So I want to believe that this policy is not kind of like coming from ownership, but it sounds like the security guards were following the policy of the Dodgers, and it's a bad look. Mm-hmm. And the Dodgers, for whatever reason, and a couple of these things are not in their control, just can't get out of their way PR-wise. That whole situation a year ago where they canceled a concert with drag queens, and then because the Christian community was against them, and then they put the concert back on, and then it was just a mess, and they couldn't get the PR right on that. And then the Julio Urias thing, the Shohei Ohtani thing, the Trevor Bauer thing, it just seems to be one after another, and you have to at some point look at yourselves and be like, what are we doing wrong in all of these situations? I don't know if each of them are different, but it's one of those things where, in my mind, I'm like, man, another thing for the Dodgers to get bad PR about.
Yeah, and you would think that the Dodgers were expecting this to happen because everyone was waiting. When is it going to happen? And that they would have like a protocol. Hey, guys, like when this happens, this is how we're going to handle it. But it does seem like maybe there was a miscommunication.
I disagree. I think this is their protocol, and that's what makes them so cheap. Is let's divide and conquer. Let's split them apart. Let's tell her. Obviously, she wasn't I don't say obviously, but people have been saying she's maybe not the diehard fan if you didn't understand that it was Ohtani's first home run. Catching a ball in any game, I think, is a big thrill.
It's exciting.
If you went to that game and left with a Shohei Ohtani autographed bat, baseball, and 2 signed hats, I think you'd be like, pretty good deal. Like, I don't think that she understood what she was really, what she was really holding on to.
And that's what they were hoping for.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. And that's what makes it even worse is because it doesn't have to be a cheap situation. If you gave her, obviously that is more than she ever would have thought. But if you inundated her, it becomes a viral moment where you not only take care of a fan. By the way, there's not going to be another home run unless Shohei, hits 63. This season that is going to be as valuable as that baseball would, where you would then have to ante up the same amount of gift package of the value, which, by the way, when you're paying him $700 million, it doesn't matter what the package is anyway, because it sure gives the appearance that you can give whatever you want to give, especially when you don't have to pay it for another 10 years. That also really helps. It's just the fact of it could have been a win-win. You would have gone on TikTok and you would have seen Dodger fan overjoyed by how the team, gave her lavish gifts for turning over the ball and doing the right thing. Instead, it's now just become a bad, ugly story, but it's all because of the Dodgers not doing their part originally.
It could have been handled better. You're right. And yes, you're right.
Well, it's the opposite of what Dan just described. So the whole TikTok thing where everyone would have celebrated this, and if you add this to it too, Shohei Ohtani being a Dodger has raised the prices for everybody. Mm-hmm. So the fan experience is more expensive than ever before. So then they're compounding it by being cheap with a Dodgers fan. It really is. It's a horrible look.
It is a horrible look. When I first read the article and then I saw that she was happy about it, I was like, but she was happy. I'm so confused. But I get what you're saying, that the responsibility is on the Dodgers organization to not do that. Just because she wasn't aware doesn't mean you take advantage, is I think what you're trying to say.
And there's also this point, and I don't know if it's real or not, but where Shohei said that he met with them, and then they claim that they didn't meet with him.
Yeah, what I understood was that there was a mistranslation, that Japanese journalists were like, he never said that. But then in the translation, it was said.
Where's Ipe when you need him, right?
Stop!
That's I mean, already a problem with the translator. It's a mess that just could have been avoided.
Yeah.
And if you try, here's the other thing. If you try to right the wrong, it just falls empty anyway.
Yeah.
If you try to say, you know what, here's Shohei, here's all this, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't have the same effect. The damage is done, and the Dodgers blew this one. They could have given her $50,000 and said they would have paid her in 2034. And then that would have all been fine. By the way, should we just call her Sugar?
Sugar, yeah.
That's probably a better nickname, and you can take it wherever you want.
Yeah,
but that's,
Sugar is definitely in it.
Sugar.
Brian, did you see it already? No.
Sugar.
I was trying to find it.
Yeah, Brian follows her. What are you talking about?
I typed her name in,
and
it
doesn't come up.
Okay, so you guys will have to show me how to find her.
Yeah, I'll share it with you.
It's probably not coming up because it's a work computer. That's probably why it's not showing up.
Stop! It's not that bad, but it's yeah.
All right.
It's a name we can't say.